Good day, and welcome to the latest episode of What Did I Miss? We are starting this episode with Gabe just telling us he's in a good place, so we shall see how long that lasts. Before we get started, I think we should just we pour a little out for Frank Vogel, who's really in a better place, not having to coach that clown crap show of an organization anymore. Go and do something fun. Coach some people that are fun and coachable and under the age of 57. Am I right?
You're right.
Yeah, no, definitely. Go try to get a job coaching someone who isn't the greatest player of all time with a bunch of other great players.
Because
See if it goes better.
He's proven to be so coachable. Who's coaching LeBron? No one is. No one is.
It's like doing the show with you. What do we you know? It doesn't matter. Just give the scorer the ball.
Criticism. No, and big difference. I can tell you when I've done something wrong or it was my fault. 1,000%. I don't like to do it. I try not to do it, but I can do it. You are talking about someone who cannot and will not ever take a bullet. Ever. Frank Vogel, all we're trying to say is you deserved better. And that's all. We're moving on.
I hope Frank Vogel goes and coach like an Eric Weddle vibe and goes and coaches like a local high school team in the Los Angeles area.
Wow, that's
weirdly
what I want for him. Low aiming for him. I don't understand. Why would you want him to go coach a team to greatness? No, I want him to go coach. Because the thing is, I don't want people like dumb, stupid people who don't know what they're looking at to be like, yeah, it was his fault. He's not even a good coach. That's not true. He is a good coach. He just was in an unwinnable situation. So if I'm him, I go do something great, remind everybody who you are, and then if you want to go coach like a high school to greatness, then you go do it then. But you can't go out like this. You're going out like a chump, and it wasn't even your fault. Facts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, LeBron's never schlepped a bad coach to an NBA Finals before.
Oh, which one was that?
Never happened.
Which one?
All of them.
Which one? Ty Lue, who they've now established is a good coach. Eric Spoelstra, who they now is going to say is one of the greats. Who else? Which one? Everyone else he got canned. Remember?
Yeah, and he dragged all their asses to the finals because he's the greatest player alive.
He's a coach killer. People don't want to call him that because it's it's bad things. He's a job killer is what he is. If you do something and if something goes bad, everyone else loses their job because LeBron can't. Period. Anyways,
should he be a player
coach? Why
coach?
are we starting a week off with that crap face? I don't want to talk about him. Like, this isn't even...
Player coach LeBron.
I'm wearing my Goonie shirt, my Smokey the Bear hat. Like, honestly, this is a great day for all of us. Gabe was in a good place. Oh, your good place was making me angry. Now I see what's happening right now.
That's what it is. You saw me looking smiley and happy, and you were like, gotta go the other way. Can't do it.
Gotta stop this before it's too late. Okay. Yes. Actually, no, that wasn't in the rundown. We just wanted to make sure we showed our respects. But Masters. So I heard I watched a lot of Masters, but I am not the person that everyone was talking about all week about I only check in when Tiger is playing. I don't care if Tiger's playing or not. Masters has always been something that's on in the house at this time of year. And I think there were other characters that seemed to be lovable and cheerable that I didn't really need Tiger. But I will say this. If you didn't know anything about anything, you would think Tiger was leading every day for all 4 days, including up and until the final hour of Masters coverage on Sunday. My God. People, do we have any pride? No, I get it. You made a bunch of packages. You want to roll them out. People spend a lot of time putting those videos together. I get it. You don't want to eat all that. But my God. Shameless, people. Am I the only one that is over it? I feel like I'm an ass about Tiger Woods because I don't think the sympathy should be so high.
I'm with you here, Beadle, and I will admit that he is the only thing that could interest me in golf, but I watched 0 shots, did not care, and thought the coverage was insanity. He had the worst day he's ever had in 93 rounds at the Masters on Saturday, and we're still pretending that, there's some hero story going on with Tiger in red on a Sunday. He finished 47th.
He did wear red on Sunday, which I said, and I quote, "Why are you wearing red today? You shouldn't be wearing that today." Because it's not that kind of Sunday for him. It was just let's finish this thing and move on Sunday, I thought. And I think Cam Smith, lovable mullet, Australian. Those are mullet and Australian, yes. Automatic roots. I'm going to root for anybody who's Australian and or has a mullet, right? Yep. Shane Lowry, he's got the fun Irish accent, also has a John Daly vibe. I think we can get behind that. And then the winner, Scotty Scheffler, who I could have literally run into him yesterday. I wouldn't even know. Would not know if that was the guy next to me at the gas station yesterday. But they seem to love him. I mean, they said it 8,000 times, but he's just an unassuming average Joe claiming to be 25 who is having the greatest several months in a row that any human being has ever had, right? What
He
is
does
it?
look
What
like
did you
he could just be
nine-
like your accountant, though.
No, he's well, yeah, but if he wasn't 25, which, whatever, we can talk about that another day. $9 million in the last 59 days because he's won 4 of the last 6 tournaments. Like that's a hell of a run. It's a very it's lightning strike golf round run, and I kind of love that for him. But I watched a lot of the Masters. I don't know why. It's because I'm turning into my father. Paige, I know you're in Miami, Paige, living it up with the party people, going out starting at midnight. Like, I get it. Did you watch any of this?
Yeah, I watched yesterday. I watched like the last 5 holes, poolside,
Okay.
with a drink. It was delightful. But yeah, I loved him 4-putting on 18. That made me happy.
Yes.
Like it felt
did
really
like that.
accessible. Like he did it for us. He's like the people's
Yep.
golfer. Because we've all been there playing golf.
all
That felt
done
really
that.
nice. But yeah, I watched a bunch of it. I was pulling for Cameron Smith,
Yeah.
just purely on the mullet. Mullets need more.
I mean,
wins
he's
overall.
Roy McIlroy made it a bit of a show towards the end. He and
Colin.
Morikawa both holed
Yeah.
out on the same. That was cool. I was like, I don't think I'll ever see that again. Yeah, it was. I say all this really to say that I spent the last week of listening to sports talk radio, listening to the majority of the opiners say that golf is nothing without Tiger and that there's no reason to watch and that the only reason anybody ever tuned. And maybe the ratings bear all that out. That's fine. But I don't agree. And I think if you like watching golf, then it doesn't matter who's playing and you can find somebody to root for in anything. And I think yesterday was about as exciting a last Sunday as you can get. Like there was an actual race towards the end. And I thought, I'm in.
I do
yeah,
think the Masters are
just
different.
enough.
I think people will always watch the Masters.
That's what I think. I don't know. Do you watch? Okay, so Tiger already said he's definitely playing, and I already forget which one, and he's going to try to play the next major. Will you watch those at all, Gabe?
I mean, if I have absolutely nothing going on and all my kids are asleep and I've already worked out and eaten and done anything else I want to do, then maybe I'll have it on in the background.
What?
I don't care. I'm over it. This phase of my life is over. I'm done
you don't
with
like
Tiger
golf
Woods.
anymore, or you don't like watching golf?
I'll catch up with it on Monday. If it's something to talk about, we'll talk about it. I don't want to watch golf. I don't have time to play it. Certainly don't have time to watch it.
This is, I think we just got to the root of all of this.
We uncovered it.
We uncovered it. You're angry
what's the
because you
problem?
don't have time to play
Resentment.
golf anymore. Yeah, and now you're lashing out against the sport you love.
I don't love it. It's a long,
Yeah.
boring waste of time.
I hear it in your voice.
I hear it too.
Guys, this isn't a therapy session. Let me just tell you what the problem with golf is.
And yet,
It's too many holes. I've
Excuse
said this
me?
before. I'm going to bring it up here. I'm the dude on this show. Why are you guys making that? What the hell?
what? One more time.
Golf,
And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. We'll be back.
golf should be 12 holes. 18 is too much. Be honest with yourselves. No one has 18 good holes in them.
Oh my God,
you don't
stop
need
talking. Just stop talking right now. Okay. Well, why not just make it 9? I mean, why stop at 12? Hell, make
Even
it 9.
better.
Call it a day. Oh,
Bring it down to 6 if you want. I don't care. It's a waste of time, and talking about it is even more frustrating than watching it.
fine. Did you watch F1? Because it was a 10 o'clock p.m. start on your end of the woods.
Yeah, that.
I loved that. I was midnight for me, which is a little bit late, but, insomnia is fun, so we're good there. But, wait, you
There
didn't
aren't
watch
enough-
any?
No, there's not enough gummies in California for me to watch F1 at 10 o'clock at night. No
Wait,
shot.
hold on. So it's
like
too
the
early when it starts at 6 a.m., but it's too late when it's when would you like it to start? That you could watch it.
2005.
Never. It doesn't
See?
need to start. Just keep them in the garage, fellas. I don't care.
Oh my.
I started in a good mood. Why are you doing this?
Well, okay, then let me ask you this. Why were you in a good mood? You didn't watch anything. What did you do? Did you spend time with, and dare I say, family?
I did. And no one cares about me and my family in the weekend. Talk about F1. They love you and your F1 takes. They don't care what I think.
Well, the fix is still in F1, ladies and gentlemen. If you are with me on the fact that somebody is messing with the Red Bull car of Max Verstappen, then you would be correct. I can't say of Perez either because he came in second. But somebody is sabotaging Max Verstappen's car. It was fine, and then it stopped. But it didn't just stop, because listening to the experts, they were saying normally there's a warning that all the computer geeks back in the garage will actually know when something like that's about to happen so that they can address it and deal with it accordingly, and that there was zero warning this time, and that Max had to just pull over, stop the car, and say something along the lines of, there is some weird liquid coming out. Like,
counterpoint,
if Max Verstappen doesn't know, what? How is it a piece of... It just won an entire season, and now it can't finish 2 of the 3 races. What?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to defend that title when you have a shit car.
It's gonna be tough to defend when you got somebody with a wrench going in there at night doing something to that car and undoing something. The good news was Ferrari, and the Italian in me is very proud of this, even though I root for McLaren. Charles Leclerc won again from start to finish. There was no drama as far as Charles Leclerc. The only bad part about Ferrari was Sainz was out very early on in the race, and that was a bit of a bummer. But the big thing was it was a midnight start Central, and normally it's somewhere between 7 a.m.-ish start, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'm a morning person, but I found that I didn't hate the midnight start. It's a little late. It was a little harder to get up on Sunday, but it was fine.
It was rough on the East Coast.
Anyways.
I made it an hour. I was asleep at 2.
Whatever. You're in Miami. You're supposed to be up till 7.
I also was drinking all day, so that didn't help. But
you know what?
Yeah,
I'm surprised
1
you
a.m.
made it that far.
Was rough.
What percentage of an F1 race is 1 hour? So an eighth of the race?
Half-ish, depending on flags.
Oh, well, that's not bad. I thought it was more...
Yeah,
I thought it was more like cricket. I thought it was just an all-day round and around and around.
The shortest race I've seen, it was a very clean, no drama race, was right about 90 minutes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and that was it. But normally, we had 2 flags right off the bat in this one. So it's oh no, here we go. Because you don't really want a 3-hour race when it starts at midnight. But it was fun, and we don't have another race for a couple weeks, and then that one's in Italy, and Ferrari's on a roll, and I just think this is setting up to be very movie-like. And if you're keeping up, Hamilton is not the one that Mercedes is touting right now. George Russell, the newbie, the young buck, having himself a day.
24-year-old.
So we'll see. And there's going to be drama there because the announcers talked about it. George Russell's not Bottas. He's not quick to be like, hey, you need to let Lewis go do his thing, and he's not going to do it. So I think this could be fun to watch as the season progresses.
Agree. And our guy, Danny Rich. Danny Rich had a great race at
home,
which I love for him.
Yep. And I will say this, I'd like to go to Melbourne for a race because it was a beautiful backdrop. You had a park, a body of water, the city in the background. It had everything. It was all green and lush. The weather looked lovely. Yeah, so I'm all in on, I don't know. I've been putting in requests with The Athletic. I don't think anyone's getting my emails about places we'd like to go and stuff, but I'm not getting responses, so just keep sending those emails about where we are.
I would say that it is imperative to the future of this show that we go.
To go to Melbourne? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then once you go to Melbourne, you're already out, so you might as well start going to some other place. Because it's such a long travel, you might as well maximize it, right?
World Tour.
Yo! I will stay in. I will be willing to stay in 4-star hotels if that means we get a better budget to go and do that.
I think
that's
the real story is that you're willing to
sacrifice.
get on a plane for that long.
I will get on a plane. Yeah, well, I'm going to have to up my Xanax, but I haven't taken Xanax in so long. That first one's going to be a party.
Right out. Right out.
It's going to be great. That first flight's going to be fun for everybody involved. Yeah, I'm in. All right, I'm going to send that email today, Gabe. I'm on it. Who's got cops? Is that me?
Paige, are you being tailed by the cops?
Sorry,
Paige!
I'm gonna mute. Guys,
have you been doing deals? Oh, it is of course it's in Miami. It's certainly not here.
Quincy's going to get a workout on putting this episode back together. He's going to have to he's going to have to do some editing. He's got filters for everything.
You can't have siren sounds?
You can. You just,
real life.
it's complicated. You got a lot of buttons to press. Was there other sports stuff this weekend that wasn't golfing and racing?
I mean, yeah, well, NBA was done. Last night were all the last games. And, there were some things that were determined at the last minute. For me, selfishly, because it was the last Spurs game and we played the Mavs. And this, I think, it will be an interesting topic because Luka Doncic got his 16th technical on Friday. Should have been out of the game last night, suspended. It was rescinded by the league so that he was active for last night's game. And during the course of last night's game, a game in which he probably didn't need to play anymore because the Pelicans were down by so much to the Warriors that there was not going to be any movement for the Mavericks after all. He shouldn't have been playing, and he came up lame, and they're saying it's a calf strain. We shall see, but calf strains, those don't go away in 48 hours. So that's an interesting sort of twist to what happened to the Mavericks last night. But I'm excited. First play-in games are on Tuesday. Selfishly, the Spurs play on Wednesday. That's the one I care about the most. And then we shall see. Yeah, so there's a lot of sports happen this weekend.
Have we talked about playing games before? Like, dislike?
What do you mean?
Remember. Like,
just the whole, I feel like I've been talking about it. It made these last couple weeks interesting for a lot of people that otherwise would have just been like just killing time, And so I understand the argument for sort of 7-8. I get it, but I also am like, yeah, be better. You don't have to worry about all this. But if you're not better, then now you have to worry about all this. And so I think people are excited for it. People seem to have very high hopes for the Brooklyn Nets. I don't really know why they're doing that. It's making me feel once again like I did at the beginning of the season when everyone thought the Lakers were going to be good. I'm like, am I crazy? But I don't see Brooklyn doing much out of all of this. But we'll see. But the playing game's good because you got the 9-10 playing each other, and then that winner plays the loser of 7-8, and then that's for the 8 spot. So it's pretty good. I'm in on this. I mean, look, it's virtually impossible because if you're in the playing game, you've got to win 2 for the opportunity to play the top seed.
Right.
Like it's not yeah. Right. Like it's almost like you're just, you're extending your season a couple more games. The fans love it. If you've got a young team like San Antonio does, I think all experience is good experience. But if you have a team like Brooklyn and you're potentially out after one loss, that's also a huge fail. So I love it. But the old guys like Sean Elliott, those guys, they don't like it. They don't like the playing game. I get it. But I'm a fan.
Because they cared about the regular season because they tried for more games.
Exactly. But
Sean Elliott played in an era where you could foul each other and
true.
not like each other.
That is true. Yeah, you didn't hug like the whole time you were on the floor.
Yeah.
I hate that
It's
so
a
much.
brotherhood.
I will always hate it. No, it's not a brotherhood. Not during a game.
It's a marketing
bitter
scam.
Yeah, I hate it. But that's a lot of sports, and I guess baseball and stuff happened, but I didn't watch. That's a whole nother. You guys could tell me about that in the next segment. I have no idea. Okay.
This
Baseball was
is
on.
wealthy. F1 Masters.
Yeah, it's wealthy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a very rich Rolex. This is a Rolex sponsored first segment for us today.
No, it's not.
So,
but Rolex,
yeah,
if you're
it's
listening,
not. Okay.
we will take your money.
But yes, but we'll be willing to take it.
That's right.
If like McLaren wants to sponsor the A block today, all in. We'll just drive around in McLarens for free for a while.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
in.
Beadle, can I ask you a basketball question?
Sure, I might have an answer though.
All right. You're you've been extremely skeptical of this ridiculous team in Brooklyn, and I don't blame you. They seem absurd. But the defending champs seem to be taking them seriously because if I understand Sunday, it seems like the Bucks were like, maybe it wouldn't be great if we had to play them in the first round.
Yes.
So you don't buy them, but do you think the top teams in the East buy them and are a little bit afraid of them?
I think maybe to a point. I mean, it's Kevin Durant. Like I'm not stupid. I'm not going to dismiss one of the best of, arguably all time. But the Bucks got completely roasted for what they did last night. Like they sat everybody and they just lost by double digits and they weren't the only one. It seemed like everybody sort of in that little window was just clamoring to not get the spot. But I think it's not necessarily that they think they're going to lose. I think maybe you're just trying to avoid them early on, which is, again, if you're old school mentality about it all, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to play the best ones to get to the end anyways. So just deal with it. It was a bad look, I think, for the defending champs. I'm weirdly enough, I feel like Boston is going to be the team that comes out of the East. So it's odd for me to say out loud, and I've sort of just come to that conclusion in the last 48 hours, and I'm still processing it. But yeah, it's not a great look. I will say that. I think Milwaukee kind of looked like turds for doing it that way, but it's a strategy nonetheless. Maybe they're just, Ben Simmons, I don't know what the deal is there either. It's very weird. Clippers, I don't know if Kawhi's going to be playing. Like, there's so many unknowns in a world full of access and news and breaking everything that we still don't know. That's kind of bizarre. Like, where's Woj? I need Woj on these stories. Like, are these people playing? Do I need to count on them?
He's leaking Vogel stories. Yeah. He doesn't have time for the stuff on the court, man.
He's on the Vogel beat. But I could have leaked the Vogel story. Come on. I could have said he's going to lose his job. We could have said that in November. Like, it's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, no, I think it was a bad look. And I think maybe I don't think they're throwing Brooklyn away, if that's what you're asking me, like, at all. I just think I don't think Brooklyn has the staying power. Like, unless defensively they've decided something else. They are 1,000% a wild card. Like, I think the Memphis Grizzlies are going to, I hope, disrupt some stuff. Because people have zero expectations for them, and Ja's back. Like, it's gonna be fun. I'm actually really excited. Not Spurs. I'm not stupid. Spurs aren't gonna win the whole thing, but like, I'm very excited about the NBA playoffs without necessarily having like my team be front and center for the whole thing. So it's kind of exciting. Yay us! Look at us, just fans of sports. Look at us. That's it. That's it for the weekend, though, Gabe.
No, that's it.
Yeah, well, that's what I saw. But we're taking a quick break because I always miss other stuff, kind of. And I also have some TV recs for you guys. Trash, maybe, when we come back. Right now, in this moment, is the best time for everything and all things live television. And good for you, because Sling is the best of live TV for the best price. It's everything you love about live and also on-demand TV without all those long-term contracts and hidden fees. So with Sling, you're going to get channels like ESPN, TBS, TNT, CNN, HGTV, and a whole bunch more. Plus 80,000 on-demand movies and shows, 50 hours of DVR storage included, and the ability to pause or change your subscription at any time, plus so much more. Watch your favorite comedies, action, drama, adventures, suspense and thrillers, documentaries, which I think are probably the best, news and sports for just $35 a month. That's it. Sign up in 5 minutes, start streaming right away on your TV, your phone, and your tablet. It's the easiest and cheapest way to watch the TV you love, both live and on demand. Take control of your entertainment with Sling, the TV you love for a price you'll love. Try it free today. Go to sling.com. Restrictions apply. we are back. Okay. I feel like I watched a lot, but I'm sure I missed something, ladies and gents. What else did I miss?
Yes. Well, it turns out that baseball started last week. Did you know that?
What?
Yes.
That
yes,
can't
it
be
did.
right.
Yep.
It started on the day the Masters started. Bad planning. Bad planning.
And my birthday.
Classic baseball.
Just if we're ranking
and your birthday.
order of
Well,
importance.
that was the day. It's the day you
We
got
don't
roasted
speak
for
of that
Top Gun.
day.
Hey, Paige,
Okay.
how was your birthday? Did you get a lot of nice messages in your phone on your birthday?
So many messages. So many messages about Top Gun, specifically.
See? You're going to love that movie now more than ever because it's going to have real
It's my
meaning
favorite
to you
movie.
specifically.
It's always been my favorite movie. Everyone who knows me knows that about me. Okay? Okay. So it was opening day last Thursday. Baseball is playing now. Yay. But the thing I wanted to ask you about is, so Billy Crystal threw out the opening pitch for Yankees Red Sox games. Do we care about first pitches anymore?
So
like
quaint.
as a society?
I can't even say that I ever did, to be honest. But I think we only care when they're awful, right? Like when somebody makes a fool of themselves, then we're like, ha, 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 you are not athletic. Otherwise, they just come and go and no one ever knows.
Would you do one?
I'm
Have
pro.
you done one?
I'm pro first pitch. You've done one, haven't you, Beadle? I think I was like,
the
didn't I
hard
go to
hitting
one
New
for?
Britain. That's what I did. And it was
I don't remember.
awesome
I remember
and perfect.
practicing with you. We went outside and like
practice.
warmed up.
Yeah,
so
we
you
had
could
to.
like do it. Did you throw a strike? I don't remember.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if it would have been a called strike, but it was certainly perfect. Yeah, like, made it. I mean, the thing is, you just don't want to fall short. I think that's the number one faux pas, and then throwing it weird, crazy is number two. But falling short is just walk away if you do that. Just hide.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Just end it all right there.
Just end it all.
I think the thing that confuses me about first pitches, so I didn't see Billy Crystal throw it, but Billy Crystal's loved baseball for his whole life. He grew up playing. I'm sure he's not a good baseball player, but he knows like what throwing looks like. I don't understand when you get the people like Conor McGregor. Oh. Well, I mean, with Conor, it's just delusional. But like, who are like, oh, I've never thrown a baseball, but sure, whatever, I'll do it. I'm sure this will go fine. How do those people end up in that situation where you're going to look
PR.
like a total jackass?
Just PR. It's somebody told him, hey, this, like, for example, if you throw it out for the Dodgers, it's a very LA PR thing, right? Like, and the Dodgers get, and I can only speak for the Dodgers because that's where I lived most of the last several years. So they would get like one day it'd be a real celebrity that everyone's very aware of, and then the next day it'd be some like a YouTube makeup tutorial person. Then I'd just be like, I don't know who that is. That person's 7, so whatever.
There's so
but
many
yeah,
names.
it's weird. That's the other thing. Like, can you imagine if you had to do all of the games with a first pitch person? I mean, you could. It would just be so diluted.
I mean, there's always somebody who wants to try. I just don't understand the people who are like, yes, I accept the invitation. Now I will learn how to throw a baseball. Like, how do you find yourself in that situation?
It's a challenge. I think it's a good challenge because let's be honest, it doesn't look hard, right? So you're like, I can learn that in the next week or so, no problem. And if you've never thrown a ball, you have no idea if it's hard or not. And some people find out maybe it's a little harder than they thought. Some people find out it was as easy as they had imagined.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So good job, Billy Crystal.
All right. Can we loop back to some topics from the beginning of the show, but angles that I think you missed?
Sure.
So apparently, I don't even remember the kid's first name. The Scheffler guy who won the Masters,
Scotty,
whoever that is.
yeah, with an IE.
Okay. All right. Scotty Scheffler. Cool grown man name. He went to the same high school. Get ready to hear this every time you watch golf for the rest of your life. Same high school as Matt Stafford and Clayton Kershaw. We already were bombarded with the fact that they went to the same high school. Now we got another guy from the same high school.
How many more are there? God, another one.
Can I just say that I hate this high school without knowing anything about it?
Oh, Gabe.
Already tired of this place.
You would 1,000% hate. Highland Park is the shishi area of Dallas. It's the Beverly Hills, Bel Air of Dallas.
Okay.
It is where young men become pillars of society.
No, yeah, I don't
It's where pinkies are always high in the air, and the houses are not houses. They are compounds and estates. That's Highland Park. Yeah, no, you'd hate it. I certainly didn't love it. So there's that.
Right.
But yeah, there's got to be a fourth person. I want there to be like, hey, look at all the people that came from Highland Park. Scheffler, Stafford, Clayton Kershaw, and then this serial killer that we just uncovered that's getting no recognition. Like, there's got to be some bad seed that has come out of Highland Park High School. And you know what? If I spend the rest of my life trying to find that person, it will be a life well lived.
Yeah, but based on what you just said,
it must
they
be an
got off the
enormous
charges.
school.
That's a great point. You know what? You're right. You're right. That person does exist. We'll never know. Daddy got him all off the charges.
I think it's just strange to have a school with so many famous people and of a generation come from it. Like, who's the most famous person who went to either of your high schools? Do you even know? Beadle, is it you? Are you the most famous person to go to your high school?
I don't know.
Didn't you go back recently?
Well, funny you should say that. But in 2 weeks, I'm being inducted to the Bernie Hall of Fame.
Oh,
NBD. So I know that I'm going in with a couple of older generation folks, but that were very much more heroic than I've ever been. I think one was like a World War II something or other, and I don't know. But yeah, I don't know who I don't think we have. I'd have to do some research. There's got to be someone.
I think mine is the Napster guy, Sean Parker.
Wait. Whoa, that's huge.
That's a big one.
That's a big one, dude.
I think that's it.
Okay. What about you, Gabe? It has to be someone from yours.
Yeah. I think David O. Russell, the movie director.
Wow. Famous for yelling at Lily Tomlin on set.
People are a little torn on him now, but pretty successful. And then the Dillon brothers grew up in my town, went to the high school, but I think graduated from a private Catholic school. But they grew up in my
brothers?
town. Matt and Kevin.
Oh, those Dillons.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, that's pretty good too. Damn. That,
And
okay,
then
now
I think
feel like
like
there's gotta be someone
the
better.
woman who played Jerry's mom on like the first season of Seinfeld or something like that. But that's how normal high schools
We're
work. You don't
devolving
have 3 superstar athletes.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's actually fair. Like, that is fair. But well, unless it is Los Angeles, because isn't it like there's like a couple high schools in LA, in the LA area that have like pumped out a lot. But that's just geography and that's acting and that's all that is. Yeah, I don't know how to look up famous people from Bernie High School, but if you are listening and have any idea, let us know. I don't know.
I would want
There's
to
not
hear who the most.
believe it or not,
well,
there's not a whole section on the internet. Huh?
It would just be nice to know,
I don't know
who the
anyone.
most famous person at People's High School was. But then it's just like that's all the
I know,
high schools. Fascinating.
But like, there's some randos too that came from some random areas of the country. So you're like, holy crap, that's cool. Yeah, so I like that. But I also want to know if anybody went to high school with a serial killer, because I also find that fascinating. It's more infamous than famous, but I'm still willing to learn and hear about it. So, all right, fair enough. I'm going to do research on Bernie. I'll get back to you on that. What else?
Speaking of high schools, this is a stretch. Speaking of high schools and high school teachers,
There it is.
Wow.
high
Okay,
school
now I can't wait.
teachers and their students. Better Call Saul premieres next week. So excited. And we found out over the weekend at Paley Fest that Walt and Jesse are coming back to guest star.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, I'm in on that.
100%.
I still haven't, look, I haven't started Better Call Saul as a series.
What?
So obviously we need to start.
What?
I know. I'm busy
That is
watching.
shocking.
Oh, here's a.
You're
Busy watching shows like The Ultimatum and Young,
We'll get
Famous,
there.
and
We'll get there.
African.
We'll get
Those
there.
are my 2 TV recs. No, those I'm telling you right now. Okay, go. What? I'm on
Hold on.
it. It's on the list.
Beadle, stop. Your name is on the show. You're the star. We can't treat you like we treat Paige. But
Yeah,
what?
you can.
What? You
Get
haven't
the
seen
fuck
Better
out.
Call
I'm going
Saul?
down like you
No.
did. Just down
No.
here.
Oh my god. I haven't. It's been on my like. There's like
It's been
a
on
list of them.
Netflix for like 5 years.
I know,
It's
but when
so
it first
good.
came out, I was like, I think I had just, because I was late to Breaking Bad, so I binged Breaking Bad, and then I was like, all right, I need to take a little break, whatever. And I always said I was going to come back to Better Call Saul, and then just time flew, and then here we are. So I am going to
Beadle.
watch it eventually.
Deeply
You're
upsetting.
Like
full
The
of
Wire.
shit.
I didn't watch The Wire until years later.
Don't bring that back up. We've
that's
gotten
what I'm
over
saying.
that.
That's what I'm saying. I will watch it. It's on my list. I've got a lot of lists. A lot of lists.
Before the show, you started telling us about how you're watching Is It a Cake? I mean, what are we talking about?
Okay, there are different levels of mental commitment involved in different types of shows. Better Call Saul is not a scrolling through my thing, planting stuff, doing things show. It's a I have to sit down and watch it show. Is It Cake? Is a show you can put on and do
12.
17 other things.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's
17
on our thing. It's a 17 scroll. Like board, dude. You board was your idea, okay? So you gotta bring back board. We're talking about these shows.
Hold on. You're opening up whole other conversations. What do you mean you can watch Is It a Cake while you're planting things in your garden?
First
Where's
of all,
your
it's
TV?
just, is it cake?
I have a TV outside.
Just is it
Yeah,
cake?
yeah. Not
three
is it a
words.
cake? What kind of a dumbass rube are you? Yeah, is it cake? Is it cake? Because I gotta ask.
Where are
No,
you watching Is It Cake while planting in your garden?
Well, I have a TV on in my back living space. I don't know what you call it, back porch thing.
Yeah.
Patio?
Thing. Yeah. Patio. God, that's the word. Man, English is hard. Yes, patio. And so I do a lot of things, like especially when I'm planting seedlings to get them started. I always have the TV on. Like yesterday I had brunch out there and watching the Masters. Then I started to do stuff. I like to multitask. I'm a woman. We multitask, Gabe. A lot of hours in the day.
All right. I saw you posted a picture of your master's brunch. What
Yes.
was that?
What
What the hell was going on there?
That was a soy riso egg with a ranchero, a very spicy, yummy, delicious sauce on toasted bread.
Oof. Okay.
Delish.
It was good. Yeah. Oh, and avocado, obs, because what's a meal without avocado? It's not a meal, period. Okay. All right. So Better Call Saul. Look, before I turn 50, I have 4 years. I will watch Better Call Saul, the whole thing. Fact.
How about before the next episode of this show, you watch the whole thing?
That is ridiculous. Like, I am so busy. I've got 4 hours of work a week that I have to concentrate on to make sure it gets done. Okay. So,
Come on. At least 5.
At least 5.
Okay, don't say yourself.
Shut up. What else? I know now that the Spurs are pretty much, I'm like, oh crap, that just opened up a whole lot of time. Woo! Okay.
I'm going to combine 2 topics with this next one. So we found out early this week that luckily Curb Your Enthusiasm is coming back again. And also we watched Tiger Woods have a living funeral. I wonder, Beadle, are you in favor of Larry David's idea of like banning the living funeral?
No!
Oh, really? You're pro living funeral?
Well, I'm pro the idea of a living funeral. I think the reality of pulling one off is it's only available to sort of a select few, the Tom Brady's of the world, obviously being the most recent other than Tiger. But I love the idea of it. Like, who doesn't want to, especially as you get older and you like face mortality, you're sort of like, man, I wonder if anyone's going to care when I die. Like, it sort of answers a lot of those unknown questions. But, Joe Schmo can't just be like, I'm having a living funeral. Like, it's not the same thing. And sadly, like, we should be telling people how great and special and wonderful they are while they can still hear you. But we don't do that. And so I kind of like the idea of it. It's a very egocentric event. But I do think it just shows that we maybe don't tell people enough that we love them while they're here. We don't give them their flowers. But we should. Okay. That's all.
I wasn't sure. I thought you'd be anti-living funeral.
What? Well, but Larry David is Larry David. Like, he knows that when he dies, the world's going to have a bazillion things to say about it. Good, bad, and ugly, but mostly good. People love Larry David. They think he's a genius and what have you. So I get it. He's saying, but for most people who are sort of traipsing through life, just like living this journey out, you have no idea what mark you've made on anybody. So you're just kind of like, wouldn't it be nice to know before you actually are gone and we'll never know? Oh, there's something to it that's kind of lovely. Sad, but lovely.
Well, Tiger had it this weekend. I guess.
Well, yeah, again, Tiger already knows that when he's gone one day, there are 700, they're probably already written all these amazing in honor of, and like those guys know, they know what their mark on the world has been. Most people don't, though. I think that's who I think about when I think living funeral, but it's unrealistic. Right. That was really sad and morbid. Thanks, guys.
That took a turn.
What else? It did take a turn. Thanks, Gabe.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to know. Now we cleared that up. But I think we know Paige and I have to start writing some obits just in case,
We do. I have a bunch written already for myself. Not for me, but for people I love. Like for my own, I haven't done yet.
Paige, you'll be reading this one I wrote about me. And I can still hear, so let's do it now.
We need an episode in a few weeks.
That would be. We should do an episode where we each write our own obituary.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
She was so hot. She loved bugles.
No,
whatever.
I'd be like, for about 1 year in her 20s, she was kind of hot. Everything else was personality driven.
She peaked at 28, but she maintained that sense of humor.
Yeah,
okay.
Funny was her real thing. Go.
Okay, there's no transition here. Joel Embiid became the first center to receive the scoring title since Shaq. Oof. 2 questions. Okay. Does that lock him for MVP? And are big men finally back?
It does not lock him for MVP. And yeah, I think like there's like this cool version of big men that exists right now, and Embiid obviously being one of them. I think Jokic is still going to get the MVP. Mm-hmm. But I will say this: I have loved that these guys, until the last final play of the last regular season game, were going hard. Like like Embiid had 41 and 20 rebounds the other night. Like there was no slowing down, and that makes, again, that's how it should be. Like that's how the NBA's, any regular season in any sport should end that way. But I love Joel Embiid, so I'm happy for him, and I'm glad he did that. And I like that he's paying attention and he wants these things. He's not too cool for school. Like, oh, I don't really pay attention to those lists. Yeah, he does, and he tells you he does, and I like that.
Yeah. NBA franchises are all followers, and they follow trends. Mm-hmm, and the trend for like 20 years now has been like a bunch of guys who dribble around and shoot it from 30 feet, and that was fun. Yeah. But basketball was way cooler when Shaq was dominant, and David Robinson and Patrick Ewing and a million other big men that I'm going to leave out were actually the best players in the league. So could this be the beginning of like everyone wanting to go find their Joel Embiid? And could we find that the 5 is the most important position soon?
I mean, it would be interesting if they could, but you're right. I think it has evolved so much. What's weird about the big men now, though, too, is they actually can just shoot like a pull-up three. Like they're scary. They're like, it's like watching a movie and sort of the cool main character has sort of evolved into even a more sleek. Like, he's got a lot of weapons. Like, big guys have a lot more weapons now, I think, than they used to. Because Joel Embiid looks the part of your stereotypical big man. Like, I'm just going to plant him right here. He's going to turn around. And he's going to embarrass everybody, whatever. But then these guys also have, like, beautiful shots, and they can do... I love it because it's sort of what basketball feels like it should be. Like, it should be that way. I like threes, but I don't like as many threes as I think sometimes we're getting, because not everybody needs to just freaking throw up threes all game long. Some of those games are really hard to watch. But I hope so. The problem is, like, you have to sort of retrain some big men to understand that, like, what that job entails. Because you can see that today. Like, you can see some big men not sometimes understand how much taller they actually are, and you should use that. You should never be shooting a layup. You should be dunking everything. You should be embarrassing everybody. I would. If I was 7 feet tall, my God, I'd be insufferable. Everyone would be my prey. Everyone. And it pisses me off when I see one like a little finger roll. I'm like, no, dunk that, dude. Dunk it. It's a pet peeve of mine. I've had it for a while.
2022.
More dunks, less layups. That's what I say. Wait, fewer layups. Fewer layups. Don't get at me. I'm sorry. Sorry, English. What else, is that everything I missed?
There's one more thing in the rundown here, and I'm not.
God, what is it?
I don't really think we can do this or should do this.
Okay.
It's written down here. I did not put this here.
Who put it there?
I'm just going to read what's here. I don't know who put it here.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Tom Brady apparently never not in the headlines. First, Peyton and Brady to Dolphins. Then discussions of him becoming a minority owner of the team before he would unretire and play for them. Will this ever end? That last part I can co-sign. Talking about this.
It's never going to end.
What's with this guy?
It's never going to end, dude. He's going to play until his like cryogenically, weirdly just propped up throwing arm body is eventually going to have to be pulled from the field of battle. And that could be in his 60s at this rate.
Weekend at Brady's.
So it's never going to end. And when it does end, you think he's just going to slink off into the... No. He probably will buy a team and he'll always be around. Like, this is it. Although it's weird because I feel like if I was Tom Brady, I would be done with, like, when I'm done, I would be done. Like, the world is large and you have this family and you could go travel the world and do stuff. Like, I would want to be as far away from your old life as possible. But I feel like it's never going to end, Gabe. And honestly, it's because of you and the way you've made it known how much you despise him. I think now we're stuck with this for the rest of our lives. You've done this.
No.
Yeah, you built this juju up, and now we're here.
No, it has nothing to do with me, and I just speak for the masses of people who cannot stand this guy. They just don't always know what it is that they can't stand about him. When will we just... Thank you. Real question. When will people just admit that nothing he says, nothing we hear first about his intention is ever true?
Huh.
Never.
Okay.
Why do we keep... falling for this? I have not been falling for it. You have not been falling for it, Beadle. Why do the networks cover this guy like he's a hero when he's blatantly lying to their faces constantly?
Because being a fan there's a level of being a sycophant that's involved in all of this world, right? Like, when you think about what we're all doing, whether it be just as fans watching or as media members watching and reporting, like, we are literally spending our time on Earth watching other more talented people do things that we are just like, wow. And then also either going, wow, and then also having to report that information to the other people that are already going, wow. It's like a very bizarre, again, I almost said something inappropriate. I'm trying to clean that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's a very weird existence. So because of that, we have elevated some of these people on this thing, these pedestals for whatever reason. Like, look, I'm a fan of some people, but the pedestal thing has always made me uncomfortable. And that's sort of where we are. So we're like, wow, everything he does. He just put out a social media. Wow. we're sheep. I mean, we are sheep at the end of all of this. It's very hard to sort of stand out when you are rooting on other human beings doing better things than you are. I sometimes float above it all, and I think this is a weird thing that we're all doing. And then I go right back into cheering. So I get it. It's bizarre. But yeah, we're going to always do that. Now, some people want to believe that people are honest. Like they literally want to take everyone at face value and believe the best. That's a stupid way to live. I've been saying that forever. But I can't take that away from people.
I feel attacked.
That's their bad decision to make. Oh, you'll learn, Paige.
Attacked.
Oh, you'll learn the hard way. You just wait. And we'll be here to laugh at you when you do figure that out.
Catch me when I fall and read my obituary back to me.
Yes. If you could turn that in by Wednesday, that'd be great. Thank you. But yeah, it's all right, Gabe. There'll be somebody more unlikable someday for you than Tom Brady. It might take a while, but it will come. It will come.
The thing that makes him so unlikable to me is how mindlessly everyone else thinks he's likable when he just keeps on showing us that he's not being honest about anything.
I agree with you. It's a frustrating thing because you're like, why does no one else see? And I have people that I view like that, and that the rest of the world is like, they're so great. I'm like, how can you be so dumb? I don't know why they see things differently than we do, but not everyone gets to be right, Gabe. That's something that you and I carry the burden of,
that's our
there are
plight,
days where it's difficult. Some days I understand.
Paige, what is it like being the other way? Yeah, what's it like being not as brilliant as me and Beadle?
Yeah, what is it?
Bliss.
Right? Ignorance is bliss, Gabe. She knows.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know what she's missing.
Dumb bitch. Oh, God.
Paige, do you understand what we're asking you? Can you are you keeping up with this conversation?
Blink if you know what we're saying.
Oh, God.
No, I knew it. Well, we're going to write it out and send it to you in an email. Sound out the words, get back to us, let us know what you think.
We can do it in
Everyone's going to be like,
bullets.
they're so mean to Paige.
I can't read paragraphs. I need bullet points.
We're going to do it in short, whatever generation you are code. That's,
TikToks.
Would pictures help? Should we do pictures instead of words?
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll put pictures of people you recognize and then a horse's ass right next to it. And then you kind of put the puzzle together. That'll work. Okay, good. Oh, I got that. I've already got that list done. I've carried that list around every day.
Thanks.
We're good. That's perfect. Quick break. Come back. 2 TV recs that I really want to get out of my system, and then we're done. Okay, we're gonna wrap things up. I think it was another great weekend. I don't know what this next coming weekend, it can't possibly be as good, but maybe I'm jinxing it. But I do want to say this. Now I feel guilty because I haven't watched Better Call Saul, and I have watched a lot of crap television in between. But I watched 2 things over the course of the last 4 days. One show called The Ultimatum, which is brought to you by the same geniuses that brought us Love is Blind. Brilliant. Mockery of marriage. That's always sort of the ground zero of these shows, which I laugh. But it's just people willing to make asses of themselves. It's amazing. It's just unlikable people, and it's fantastic. The other thing that I discovered on Netflix, and my goodness, are we so blessed to have Netflix in our lives, is Young, Famous, and African. Because I watch all the housewife shows, most of them. I don't really watch Jersey because the trash that is involved. Young, Famous, and African, same sort of rich, beautiful backgrounds. They're in Johannesburg. It's awesome. Same sort of characters. You have the alpha woman who's just over the top in her fashion and has an opinion on everything. And just, I highly recommend it. It is just such a moment of global unity to know that we all have the same crap that we're watching, and it's all the same sort of entertaining. And I finished it in it's only 7 episodes. You can get through it. It's awesome. Plus, their 48-hour getaways, unlike ours, where we're like, I'm going to go to the Hamptons, was to go on a safari and get to see lions. So I was like, oh, way better than ours. Way, way better. But yes, those are my 2 recs. Gabe, get on them because I'm going to want full reports back. Your family will enjoy it. You can watch it as a family. And yeah, you'll thank me later.
We're busy binging Might It Be Pie, a new show where we don't know. It takes a few episodes to get what's happening, but you just
what if
it's great.
We can start doing spinoffs of cupcakes or nah. We should just start doing spinoffs of Is It Cake? See what hits. Something's gonna hit. Oh my god.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, I finished Cobra Kai. I'm all the way caught up.
Ooh.
Oh, by the way, they did something in LA last week where it was some live event. I don't know, miniature Comic-Con maybe type of thing. But I'm assuming you didn't go to that. I would have gone to that.
I did not go to the event, but I gotta say, I think that the show peaked early and just sort of like started to just become a pattern.
Okay.
And now I'm not 100% sure season 5 is like a must see for me.
Well, I mean, the
out.
bad guy that they ended with, old Ponytail Magoo over there,
Yeah.
is I
Silver.
think he's a good introduction. Like, I think he's a good character in the show because he's ruthless, and he was ruthless in the original. So we'll see. But they've been good about sort of bringing back blasts from the past. So we'll see what else they've got up their sleeve. They got to have something. That's the problem with shows like this that are such monster hits. It's really hard to maintain that level. So hard.
I got an idea.
Oh, God.
Let's veer into a new universe. Let's just stick with Ralph Macchio, but not limit it to Karate Kid. Bring in Pesci. Give me My Cousin Vinny for a season. Why not?
I don't hate it.
Have him defend John Kreese in court.
I don't hate it. Can we get Marissa Tomei, who P.S. looks exactly the same anyways, so it'll be confusing to everybody?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, no, we could do that. I'm in on that. And if you haven't listened to Joe Pesci's albums, musical singing albums, might I suggest that is something you should spend a few minutes doing. Mind-blowing stuff. Mind-blowing
singing albums
stuff. Oh, don't worry. I will text you. You won't even know it's him. I'm mad I even said it was him because I should have sent it, said, who do you think that is? Then told you it was Joe Pesci.
He wouldn't have been in my top 100 guesses.
That's when he disappeared from acting. Music was his love. That's what he was doing. He was gone for like 20 years, legit. He's looked the same since he was 20. So you don't know what decades he's been active or not. But he was gone for a while. He retired from acting. Okay. And then they did that crap movie not that long ago that everyone was, don't get me started. What was it? The Irishman.
Terrible. Irishman. Awful.
My God.
It was like 4 hours
Bored failure.
4 hours of bad CGI and just pissing me off. Okay. I wanted to love it. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know how we went on this tangent. This was supposed to be a quick wrap-up segment. Okay. That is it. We'll be back this week. Oh, what do we have later this week? I think we have fun stuff on midweek, right?
We have Zach and Serena on.
Yes. Woo! Perfect timing because the NBA playoffs are fantastic. All right, good. Have a nice couple of days. We'll see you guys in a few. Peace. This is my new sound, my new thing I'm going to do.